Good job. Good job. Doing a good job. Don't get tied up in the details. Come on, just move it all. Hurry up. Yep, hurry up. Keep it going. We're not done. We're not. Buddy, these workers.
I don't relax a lot. I don't relax enough. So I decided to get a hammock. Now I need a place for my hammock, so I decided to build a new pergola. And this is part one of a two-part series in this whole build. And in this episode, we're gonna clear out the old pergola, I'm gonna clear the area around, build a retaining wall, set my posts, and bring in a whole ton of topsoil. Stay tuned so you don't miss a thing. So the original pergola was in pretty bad shape. The bottom of the legs were all rotted out and it was sort of janky and whatnot, so I knew I had to get rid of it. What I did was I pulled the tractor up, extended the front end loader up as high as I could get it, right below the top of the pergola, and then I just, cut it from each post and carried it off and was able to disassemble it on the ground. It worked out fantastic. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little concerned that, it could go wrong, but it didn't, thank goodness. A-okay. So my whole goal with having a pergola here is so I can put a hammock in it, right? I've always wanted a hammock, never had one before. And originally I was gonna do a 4-post traditional pergola. But it was becoming a little complicated because I was adding these different mounting systems for the hammock and all this other stuff, and it was just getting crazy, like some things do in my world. I went back to the drawing board. I said, what's the ultimate goal here? That's the hammock, right? So why not build a 2-post pergola for that, right? And it solves 90% of my problems with mounting the hammock. That's what I did. Designed up 2-post pergola. I think it's gonna be great. I'll also be able to use it as a little bar area, for when Buddy has parties and things like that. He brings his buddies over and has poker night and stuff. So it's gonna work out great. So once I got the ground cleared, I got everything else out and somewhat level. The next thing I wanted to do was get the post set. I built some batter boards and referenced the front of the wood shop for the position of the batter boards, and then, set the posts off of that. And that allowed me to keep everything square and in line. Now, I went back and forth over the posts, right? Like whether to make a cement pillar and then use a mechanical connection to a post, or sink the posts in the cement. And I ended up sinking the posts in the cement only because I went with 2 posts instead of 4. So I thought it was going to be better for me. And I also knew I was going to be building up this site quite a bit. I was going to be changing the grade quite a bit. So I went with 12-foot posts. So I had plenty of room to build up and I didn't have to worry about capping at the top of the post. Since I knew I was going to be building up the grade for this pergola area, I wanted to build some kind of retaining wall. And I was already using a lot of boulders elsewhere, so I thought about using a wooden retaining wall. So I ended up doing 6x6 treated lumber, and I like it a lot. It looks great. Now, it did take some time. That very first row needs to be, you know, completely level, and that just takes time. You got to go back and forth with it till you get it right, and then set it with rebar, and then you start building up on top of that, and, you know, moving your joints around a little bit. And I also used one Deadman in this retaining wall, and that's located right here. This whole area is one big fire pit area, right? And the pergola is just one part of it. And overall, I've just in this area here, I think I've brought in probably 15 tons of boulder rock. Now, last year I built a pond and I used a lot of tonnage of boulders. So I got really used to moving heavier boulders and sort of learning how to use the tractor, knowing which ones you have to sling and actually, you know, lift it up and carry one at a time, and which ones you can put in the bucket and move around. It's still a pain in the butt because you gotta be super careful, obviously, and you gotta just take your time with it. You can't rush it. And sometimes, you know, I'll build it up and I always stand back. I do a little bit, I stand back, I look at it, see if I like it or not. And if it doesn't look right, I just remove what doesn't look right and try it again. What's really interesting about boulders is that you'll find a combination where it's almost like a jigsaw puzzle. They'll just sort of lock in with each other. And it's really cool because it just happens naturally. And they dry fit, lock together. Neat. But it takes time. But it is neat.